hearing it on the third night after his mother's funeral. Jason sat in the living room of his childhood home, the house that now belonged to him alone, drinking whiskey straight from the bottle. Outside, the November wind howled. Somewhere in the pipes, something rattled. But that wasn't it. It was another sound. Soft. Insistent. A shuffling sound in the basement. Jason put the bottle down and listened. Mice? In an old house, built in 1927, there were always mice. But mice don't shuffle like that. Steady. Methodical. As if someone was dragging a finger across the concrete floor in a slow circle. He went down to the basement. The bare light bulb flickered overhead, casting jagged shadows on the raw stone walls. In the corner, behind the old water heater, was a hatch. Small, square, with a rusted handle. His mother had never told him what was inside. "What's down there, Mom?" he'd asked once as a child, maybe 9 years old. She grabbed his shoulder so hard that bruises bloomed under her fingers and dragged him out of the basement. She locked the door from the outside. It was 3 days before she let him go down again, to get canned goods from the pantry. "Never open that hatch," she'd said. "Never, do you hear me?" "Why?" "Because whatever is down there was here before this house was built. And it will still be here long after we're gone." Back then, he'd thought she was losing her mind. Too many years alone, too many fears, too many old horror movies watched by herself on the television that only got 3 channels. Now, standing with his whiskey bottle in one hand and his phone's flashlight in the other, he wasn't so sure. The shuffling stopped when he approached the hatch. Then it started again, this time from the kitchen. Jason climbed the basement stairs. The kitchen was empty. The refrigerator hummed. Outside the window, nothing but blackness. He was about to go back to the living room when he noticed the window above the sink. There was a face behind the glass. Not a stranger's face. His own. But older. 20 years older. 30. Wrinkles, gray hair, eyes that were cloudy with cataracts. The face stared at him from outside, even though the house sat on a raised foundation and below the window there was nothing but empty yard and frozen dirt. Jason stumbled backward, slamming his spine against the refrigerator. The phone flew from his hand, skittered across the floor, its light sweeping across chair legs, the coffee maker, the claws of his cat, a gray tabby named Jonas, who sat perfectly still, staring at the basement door. The door was open. Jason didn't remember leaving it open. He walked toward it. His legs moved without permission. Jonas darted past him, down the stairs, tail high. Jason followed, not because he wanted to. Because he couldn't not. The basement light had stopped flickering. Now it burned steady, too bright, erasing every shadow. The hatch was open. Not cracked. Wide open. From the black square below came a gust of cold air and the smell of wet clay. And something else. Sweet, cloying, like funeral flowers. Jonas sat at the edge of the hatch, looking down. He wasn't meowing. He wasn't moving. Only his tail twitched, fast, like a metronome. Jason approached. He grabbed the cat by the scruff and carried him to the stairs. Jonas squirmed, raced back, and sat down at the edge again. So Jason took his phone and shone the light down into the hatch. The beam fell on a staircase. Wooden, ancient, descending into darkness. And on the walls, 3 meters down, the walls began to show drawings. Not graffiti. Not words. Charcoal drawings. Figures of humans with animal heads, circles, symbols Jason had never seen before, but that made his stomach clench because they were wrong. Twisted in directions symbols don't twist. Broken. Deep down, something moved. Jason descended 3 steps. Then 5. Then 10. He couldn't stop. It felt like sleep paralysis, when your mind wakes up but your body doesn't, and you walk toward the edge of the cliff, screaming silently, while your hands and feet do whatever they want. Jason screamed inside. Outside, he was silent. The walls slid past him. The drawings grew fresher, brighter, as if they'd been made yesterday. Or an hour ago. On one wall, he saw his mother. Drawn in charcoal but unmistakable, her dress, her hair, her posture. She was on her knees before someone who wasn't drawn at all. There was only empty space. And in that empty space, someone had drawn eyes. Red eyes. Charcoal can't be red. But these eyes burned red. Real red. Wet red. The stairs ended. He stood on a dirt floor. The room, cave, was round, maybe 4 meters across. In the center stood a well. A real well. Built from stone, ancient, moss-covered. From it came that smell, flowers and clay. And a soft sound. Drip. 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 Water. Jason approached the well and looked inside. The flashlight beam caught a sheet of black water 2 meters down. The water was still. But under the water, someone was looking back at him. He recognized those eyes. They'd looked at him from the kitchen window 10 minutes ago. Old, cloudy, filmed with cataracts. His own eyes. 30 years from now. You came, said the voice from the water. It was his voice. But not his, older, more tired, more empty. Who are you? Jason asked. For the first time, his voice worked. I'm you. I'm the one who didn't leave. I'm the one who stayed here in 2054. I waited for you for 30 years. Or 30 seconds. Time doesn't mean anything down here. Jason stepped back. His feet sank into the clay, not ankle deep, knee deep. He struggled, pulled, lost his balance. His other leg sank deeper. The ground beneath him was turning to liquid. Thick. Sticky. Like tar. Your mother knew, said the voice. She knew you would come down someday. She tried to warn you. But you didn't listen. No one ever listens. The clay reached his waist. Jason screamed. A real scream that echoed off the stone walls and traveled up the stairs and into the kitchen where the cat sat perfectly still, waiting. Don't fight, the voice said calmly, like a teacher in a classroom. Only the first time hurts. After that, you get used to it. After that, you'll be the one waiting for the next one. For what? Jason choked out. For the next owner of this house. The one who will come down after you. You'll be in the water, and you'll look up at him with his own eyes, old, cloudy, filmed with cataracts. And you'll say to him exactly what I'm saying to you now. The clay reached his chest. Jason looked up. The stairs were far away. The basement light looked like a star on the other side of the universe. Who built this well? He asked, barely breathing. It was always here, the voice answered. The house was built around it. The town was built around the house. Everything was built around it. And now you're part of the foundation. The water in the well rose without a sound, no splash, no ripple. It rose just enough to touch Jason's face just as the clay covered his shoulders. The cold pierced him. Not external cold, internal. As if someone had reached inside him and pulled out everything warm and living in 1 second. He tried to scream, but his mouth filled with clay and water, and neither tasted like clay or water. They tasted like regret. Every regret he'd accumulated in 32 years. And every regret he was about to accumulate in the next 30. He saw his life. Not as a movie, as pain. Every moment he could have chosen differently and didn't. Every time his mother reached for him and he turned away. Every fight with his father, every sorry that caught in his throat. All of it poured into him with the mud, filled him, became him. When he stopped screaming, whether a minute later or a year later, he opened his eyes. He stood waist deep in the well. But not in his old body. That body remained above, crumpled in the clay, mouth open, eyes staring at nothing. He stood in the water. Cold. Black. "Do you see now?" asked someone beside him. Another one like him. And a third. And a fourth. Dozens. Hundreds. People in the water. Men, women, children. All in different clothes, from frock coats and petticoats to 1990s band t-shirts and ripped jeans. All with the same eyes. Cloudy. Filmed with cataracts. His eyes. Their eyes. Shared by all. "This is the house," said a woman in a calico dress. "We are the house. Everyone who comes down becomes the walls, the floor, the roof. Each new one adds a floor. Your house was 1 story when your great-grandmother came down here in 1941. Now it's 3 stories. You'll make it 4. How?" Jason asked. And he was surprised, because he no longer had a mouth, but he could still speak. "You'll wait upstairs," said a man in a bowler hat. "You'll wear the face of the owner. Or the wife. Or the child. You'll live in the house as if you've always lived there. You'll go to work, wave at the neighbors, mow the lawn. And at night, when the next one goes down to the basement, you'll call to him with the voice of his mother. Or his daughter. Or his own guilty conscience. And he will come." Jason tried to escape. He had no arms. He had no body at all, only awareness. He was a point of consciousness in black water, surrounded by other points. "How many?" he asked. "How many more?" "Until the house collapses," they answered in chorus. "And the house will never collapse. Because every new guest repairs the cracks. With his bones. With his memory. With his fear." Upstairs, in the living room, Jonas sat on the sofa and stared at the basement door. The door slowly closed by itself. The bolt slid shut with a rusty scrape. Jonas blinked. He stretched, yawned, jumped down to the floor. He walked through the room, sniffed the empty whiskey bottle on the floor. The owner wouldn't be coming back. Jonas knew this. He'd known it his entire cat life, because he wasn't just a cat. He was the 8th person who had gone down into the well, back in 1987, when he'd been a boy named Tommy who'd climbed into the neighbor's basement to retrieve a lost ball. Now he was a cat. In 10 years, he would become a mouse. In 20, a cockroach. In 50, a draft. But he would never stop being part of the house. Jonas walked to the window and looked across the street. A light was on in the house opposite. A young couple with a child had moved in last week. The child was maybe 3. He had already started asking his mother why their basement was so cold. Jonas smiled. A cat smile, just with his eyes. Then he sat down on the porch and waited. 2 days later, real estate agent Linda Harrison unlocked the door of the house on 3rd Street with her master key. The owner, Jason Crowley, hadn't answered calls or texts for 48 hours. Neighbors had complained about a strange smell coming from the basement vents. And about the gray cat that sat on the front porch and never moved. Linda stepped into the foyer. The house was silent. Too silent. Even the grandfather clock in the hall had stopped ticking. "Mr. Crowley?" she called. No answer. She checked the kitchen. Empty. The living room. Empty. The door to the basement was slightly ajar. Through the crack came a gust of cold air and a sweet, cloying smell that Linda couldn't name, but that made her heart race faster than it should. She did not go into the basement. She'd been in real estate for 20 years, and she'd learned one thing: when your gut says no, you don't ask why. You just leave. Linda closed the basement door, walked outside, and called the police. The dispatcher said a patrol car would be there within the hour. While she waited, the gray cat approached her feet and rubbed against her ankles. Linda reached down to pet him automatically, and pulled her hand back. The cat's fur was cold. Dead cold. But the cat was purring. He purred while staring across the street at the young couple's house, where a 3-year-old boy pressed his face against the glass and waved. "Good kitty," Linda said, not knowing what else to say. The cat blinked. For 1 second, just one, she saw a film over his eyes. A white, cloudy film, like cataracts. Then she blinked, and the eyes were normal again. Yellow. Cat's eyes. Probably just a trick of the light. The police went down into the basement 10 minutes later. They found the hatch open, the well dry, and drawings on the walls that no living person could have made, because to make them, you would have had to go deeper than the well. Into the space where bodies don't fit. They did not find Jason Crowley. They found only his phone on the nightstand, fully charged, with 100 missed calls from his sister, and an empty whiskey bottle on the living room floor. The police report read, "Missing person. Likely left the residence voluntarily." The gray cat stayed on the porch. He stayed the next day, and the week after, and the month after. Neighbors said it was strange: the cat didn't eat, didn't drink, but didn't lose weight. Neighbors said that at night, from the basement vents, they could hear a shuffling sound. Steady. Methodical. Like someone dragging a finger across the concrete floor in a slow circle. Neighbors said the house on 3rd Street was up for sale again. The price was very good. My friend Kevin worked as a content moderator for one of the largest video hosting platforms. You know the job: people upload millions of hours of video every day, and someone has to check if it violates the rules. Kevin sat in a small windowless room, watched clips at 1.5x speed, and applied labels: dangerous content, disinformation, violence, 18+. Sometimes he found things that didn't fit any category. And then he called me. Found another grave, he said that evening. His voice sounded strange, not tired, not scared. Detached. What this time? The channel is called Silence. 0 subscribers. 0 views. 127 videos. The first one uploaded 8 years ago. The last one, yesterday. And what's on them? Kevin was silent for so long I thought the connection had dropped. Houses, he finally said. Different houses. Bedrooms, living rooms, kitchens. The video is always the same, a dark room, a bed, a person sleeping. The camera is mounted on the wall across from them. An hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of recording. Nothing happens. Then the person wakes up, stares directly into the camera, and smiles. Without getting up. Without blinking. Just smiles. So. People put cameras in their bedrooms. Paranoid people. Parents watching their kids. The camera, Kevin said, is always on the wall behind the sleeping person. Which means whoever is filming is right above their head. In the bed. Behind them. I put the phone down. The room grew cold. Did you check the IP addresses? Different addresses. But I noticed something. All the videos were made in the same country, the one we live in. All within 200 miles. And you know what's strangest? The people in the videos don't look scared when they wake up. They look calm. Like they know the camera is there. Like they put it there themselves. Maybe they did. People are strange. The internet is full of strange people. Here, Kevin said. The last video. Uploaded yesterday at 3:17 a.m. Watch it yourself. He sent me a link. I didn't want to open it. Everything inside me screamed not to. But I opened it. The video was 3 hours long. I scrolled through. 2 hours and 20 minutes of black screen, but there was sound. A soft, steady sound of someone breathing. Someone was breathing right above the camera. Like someone was lying behind it, breathing into the neck of the person filming. At 2:21:33, the camera turned on. My room. My bed. I was sleeping on my side, facing the wall. The footage was shot from the head of the bed. From where the pillow lay. Someone was filming me over my own shoulder. At 2 hours 44 minutes and 17 seconds, I opened my eyes. I slowly turned. I stared directly into the camera. And smiled. I didn't remember smiling. I didn't remember that night at all. But the video was real. I saw my hands, my sheets, the scar on my eyebrow, the one from my childhood bicycle accident. The video cut off at 2 hours 44 minutes and 20 seconds. 3 seconds after I smiled. I called Kevin back. It's a fake, I said. A deep fake. Someone collected my photos from social media and faked it. I thought so too, Kevin replied. But I ran the video through 3 deepfake detectors. All of them showed 99.7% authenticity. It's not a fake, buddy. That's your face. In your room. Last night. We met the next day. Kevin looked like he hadn't slept in a week. Dark circles under his eyes, trembling fingers, his lighter clicking non-stop even though he didn't smoke. I checked the other videos, he said, not looking at me. The Silence channel has 127 clips. Each one shows a person sleeping. Each one has the same camera angle, the head of the bed, the camera looking over the sleeper's shoulder. 127 different people. And you know what they all have in common? What? Not a single one of them deleted the channel. Not a single one filed a complaint. Not a single one even knows these videos exist. I checked. I found 4 people from these videos on Facebook. I messaged them. No one answered. 3 haven't been online in over a year. One was online yesterday, posted a photo of his breakfast. But he didn't reply to my message. Maybe they just don't want to talk about it. Embarrassed. Embarrassed? Kevin finally looked at me. If someone was filming me in my bedroom, I'd go to the police. I'd scream about it on every street corner. I'd delete the channel if I could. But the channel isn't deleted. 127 videos. 8 years. The hosting platform didn't remove anything because the videos didn't violate the rules. And you know why? Why? Because all 127 people captured in those videos are listed as the creators. Each video has an owner, an account, an IP address, email verification. Every single one of those people uploaded the video to the channel themselves. Knowingly. Voluntarily. I didn't understand. Why would anyone upload a video of themselves sleeping? That, Kevin said, is what I'm trying to figure out. We decided to watch more videos together. The second video was shot in an elderly woman's house. She was sleeping in a rocking chair, the television playing. The camera was again mounted behind her, on the wall, directly above her head. The woman slept for 3 hours, then opened her eyes, turned to the camera, and smiled the same smile I had. Wide. Empty. Like a doll's. The third video. A teenager in headphones. Sleeping over his textbooks at a desk. An hour, 2. Then he raised his head, looked at the camera. Smiled. Every time, the same thing. Sleep. Awakening. A smile. I noticed something else, Kevin said, slowing down the playback. He showed me the moment of waking in slow motion. First, the sleeper opens his eyes. Then he turns his head. Only then, he smiles. Watch this. Kevin paused on the tiny gap between opening the eyes and the beginning of the smile. The person's face at that moment was neutral. But his pupils were dilated. Completely. Like in darkness. Like a dead person's. He's not looking at the camera, Kevin said. He's looking through it. At whatever is behind the camera. What's behind the camera? Here, Kevin said. Let's watch the last video. The one of you. We opened it again. 3 hours of black screen and breathing. I skipped to 2 hours 44 minutes and 15 seconds. The frame brightened. I was sleeping. My face calm. Then I opened my eyes. Pupils dilated to the maximum. I turned my head. Smiled. Kevin paused on the smile itself. Zoom in, I said. He zoomed in. In the reflection of my pupils, tiny, almost invisible, was a face. Not mine. A woman's face. Old. With black eyes and a mouth open in a silent scream. What is that? Kevin whispered. I didn't answer. I was looking at the upload date. Yesterday, 3:17 a.m. I remembered waking up this morning. Getting up. Brushing my teeth. Drinking coffee. Everything was normal. But one detail troubled me. There's no camera in my bedroom. I never had a camera. I checked. I searched the entire room, behind the bookshelves, under the bed, behind the baseboards. Nothing. So where was the camera that filmed me last night? Kevin called back 2 hours later. I deleted the channel, he said. I had access, I'm a moderator. I just erased the whole thing. 127 videos. The entire folder. I exhaled. But before I did, I saved one. The last one. Uploaded 20 minutes ago. From where? The channel is deleted. The channel is deleted, Kevin repeated. But the videos keep uploading. He sent me a link. A private video, just for me. I opened it on my phone, walked into another room so Kevin wouldn't see my face. The video was 10 minutes long. A dark room. A bed. A person sleeping. I recognized the room. I recognized the bed. I recognized the sleeping person. It was Kevin. He was sleeping on his back, face up. The camera hung above his head, on the wall. At 8:32, Kevin opened his eyes. His pupils dilated to the edge. He turned and looked directly into the lens. He wasn't smiling. He was crying. Silently, without sound. Tears ran down his face. His lips moved, like he wanted to say something but couldn't. His eyes screamed. There was fear in them, so pure, so ancient, that my stomach clenched. And then, over his shoulder, a woman's face emerged from the darkness. Old. With black eyes. She pressed her cheek to Kevin's cheek and smiled into the camera. Her mouth, the woman's mouth, moved in time with silent words. I forwarded the video to Kevin. He didn't answer. I called, subscriber unavailable. I drove to his house. The door was unlocked. The lights were on inside. Kevin sat in the kitchen, staring at the wall. His phone lay on the table, black. I called his name, he didn't answer. I touched his shoulder, he fell sideways, like a mannequin. Dead. The doctors said cardiac arrest. At 32 years old, with no history of heart problems. The autopsy found only one strange thing. In his pupils, under a microscope, there were prints. Microscopic, invisible to the naked eye, burned into his retinas. The prints of someone's face. I took his phone. I don't know why. I just took it. At home, I turned it on. It unlocked itself. Kevin never used a password. On the home screen, there was a shortcut. A folder. Inside, one video. Mine. New. Uploaded today at 3:15 a.m. I am sleeping. The camera above me. An hour, 2. I open my eyes. My pupils are dilated. I turn toward the camera. I am not smiling. I am crying. Silently. Soundlessly. My lips move, and I make out the word they repeat, over and over. Quiet, quiet, quiet. Over my shoulder, a woman's face emerges from the darkness. Old. With black eyes. She smiles, presses her cheek to mine, and whispers into the camera so clearly that I hear it on the recording, even though I was asleep. Silence. I turned off the phone. I took out the battery. I smashed it with a hammer. But last night, I woke up exactly at 3:15. The room was dark. I was lying on my side, facing the wall. And I felt someone breathing behind me. Soft. Steady. I didn't turn around. I closed my eyes and pretended to sleep. I've been pretending for 3 nights now. But last night, I heard a click. You know that sound? A camera starting to record. I lie still. Breathing steadily. Pretending to sleep. And above me, a millimeter from the back of my head, someone is smiling. I can hear the smile. It has a sound. Like a soft, wet scrape. It's 3:14 now. In 1 minute, she will start recording. I won't turn around. I won't look. I won't cry. I will pretend. Please, if you're reading this, delete the silence channel. Delete all 127 videos. Delete the ones uploading right now. Just don't watch them before bed. And never check what's behind you when you sleep. Because one day, you'll see her face. And if you see it, she will see you. And then you will become one of the channels too. The end. I've lived in this house for 3 years, but only yesterday did I realize it was never empty. It started with the ventilation. An old system from the 70s, plastic grills, dusty ducts. At night, cold air always blew out of it, even in summer. But I got used to it. You don't seal up a vent. The first time I heard it was a month after moving in. A soft whisper, almost unintelligible. I was standing in the shower, water running, and through the noise came, wrong way, lost. I figured I imagined it. Neighbors. Pipes. Old house. Who knows? The whisper returned. Not every night, but regularly. Sometimes I only heard breathing, steady, heavy, like someone lying on their back staring at the ceiling. Sometimes, soft crying. Female. Very distant, like from the other end of the city. I tried to ignore it. Turned on the TV, music, white noise. But the louder I made the sound, the clearer the whisper became. As if whoever was speaking was getting closer. As if my fear was a map. 3 days ago, I woke up to the vent grill in my bedroom glowing. Not bright, dim, a greenish light, like an old television. I walked over. Behind the grill was dark, no light from inside. I touched the plastic. It was warm. Too warm for dead ventilation. And then I heard the voice. Not a whisper. Clear, loud, as if someone was standing 2 feet away. Can you hear me? I stumbled back. There was no one in the room but me. But the voice came from the grill. From the dark duct behind it. I know you can hear me, the voice said. A young woman. Tired. Not angry. I've been here a very long time. 7 years. Every night I knock, but no one hears. You're the first. I didn't answer. I taped over the grill with duct tape, 2 layers, just in case. The next night, the tape was torn off. The glow was back. Don't be afraid, she said. I won't hurt you. I just want someone to find me. I want to go home. Who are you? I asked into the darkness. My name is Lisa. I got lost. 7 years ago, I climbed into the vent in the basement. I was small. Playing hide and seek. The door clicked shut behind me. I crawled and crawled, thinking I would find an exit. But the ducts kept going. They're too long. There shouldn't be this many. My spine went cold. I've lived in this house for 3 years. I've never gone down to the basement. The next day, I went down. The basement was damp, dark, smelled of rot. In the corner, behind an old water heater, I found a vent door. Small, square, held by 2 rusted screws. I unscrewed them. Opened it. The duct went into the wall. 1 foot, 2. It widened. Not like ventilation, like a tunnel. I shone my flashlight inside. The walls of the duct were covered in scratches. Deep, long gouges, as if someone had been clawing, trying to get out. Or trying to crawl deeper. The voice from the vent had told the truth. The ducts were too big. They didn't belong in an ordinary house. I didn't crawl inside. I screwed the bolts back in, went upstairs, and locked the basement door. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen with a knife, listening to the vent stay silent. It was silent for 3 days. And then I woke up to someone breathing in my face. The room was empty. Only the vent was glowing. Green light poured out of it into the room like water from a burst pipe. It was thick, almost liquid. I could smell it, ozone. And something sweet. Flowers. You went down there, she said. Not a question. A statement. Yes. Why didn't you go further? I was scared. Good, she said. You were scared. I was scared too, at first. Then I got used to it. Then I realized the exit is to the right, not straight. I kept going straight. But it's to the right. I remembered that yesterday. Exit to where? She was silent so long I thought she was gone. Then a whisper. I don't know. Not out of the house. Not outside. An exit from here. From these ducts. They're endless. Whoever built the house built them too. They're everywhere. Under every house on this street. We're all here. I'm not alone. Who is we? The ones who got lost. The ones who climbed into the vents. The ones who heard the voice. It wasn't me calling you at first. It was her. Who is her? I don't know. But she's in the main duct. In the center. She says she knows the way out. She says if you crawl to her, she'll show you the way home. I believed her. Now I'm here. 7 years. Don't believe her. There is no way out. At that moment, the grill shuddered. The plastic vibrated, hummed, as if someone was pounding on the duct from the other side. The green light grew brighter. She's coming, Lisa whispered. She heard us. Don't take off the grill. Don't open it. And don't listen to her voice. Whatever she says, don't listen. The light went out. The next day, I bought expanding foam sealant and filled the entire vent grill in my bedroom, the gaps, the holes, even the seams along the wall. I sealed the grill in the living room too. And the bathroom. And the kitchen. Every vent in my apartment was sealed shut. 3 days of silence. Tonight I woke up at 3 a.m. The room smelled of flowers. Strong, cloying, like a funeral home. I sat up and turned on the light. The foam was falling out of the vent. Not in chunks, in flakes, like snow. White foam lay on the floor, on the bed, on my hands. Behind the grill, through the remaining foam, I could see light. It had turned on by itself. "Hello," said the voice. It was different. Not Lisa's. Younger. Brighter. Warmer. It sounded like my mother's voice. "Don't be afraid. I'm not who she said I was. I found the way out. I can show you." "Who are you?" "Your neighbor. I live in the house across the street." I heard the voices too. I climbed into the vent. And I got out. I'm home now. I'm drinking tea and watching TV. Everything is fine. If you want, I can show you the way. I stared at the grill. The light had turned warm, yellow, like a cozy living room lamp. The smell of flowers was replaced by coffee and fresh baking. My mouth watered. I wanted to believe. I wanted to go home. "Just open the grill," said my mother's voice. "I'll lead you." I stood up. Walked to the wall. My hand reached for the grill on its own. I almost touched it when I heard another sound. Soft. Barely audible. Lisa's whisper. From the other vent, the one in the bathroom. I had sealed that one too, but the foam had fallen out there as well. "Don't open it," Lisa whispered. Her voice was weak, dying. "That's not your mother. That's her. The one in the main duct. She takes voices. She wears them like masks. She took my mother 2 years ago." I heard my mother calling me from the vent. I opened it. It wasn't my mother. My hand trembled. I stepped back from the grill. "Please," said my mother's voice. It had changed. There was steel in it now. "Open it. Don't listen to her. She's lying. She wants you to stay here. To become like her. Lost." "Don't open it," Lisa whispered. I stood between two voices. Between two grills. Between the light from the bedroom and the darkness from the bathroom. And then I heard a third voice. From the vent in the kitchen. A child's voice. A little girl. She was crying. "Daddy, can you hear me? I'm lost. I want to go home. I don't have children. I've never lived in this house with children." But the voice was so familiar. So familiar. So right. Something inside me clicked. I walked toward the kitchen. There was a knife in my hand. It's 3 a.m. now. I'm sitting in the kitchen, writing this on my phone. The grill in front of me is glowing green. My mother's voice is calling from the bedroom. Lisa's voice is whispering from the bathroom, telling me not to listen. And the child's voice from this grill is crying, saying she's cold. She said, "Daddy, open it. I'm scared of the dark." I almost opened it. But my hand stopped. I remembered, I don't have children. But the voice knows that. It knows everything. It knows I wish I had a daughter. It knows what she would call me. It knows how she would cry. Because it's not a voice. It's the memory of a voice. The longing for a voice. The desire to be called something I never was. And it's using that. I can hear someone crawling through the duct right now. Slow. Rhythmic. Fingernails scraping metal. SHK, SHK, SHK. She's getting closer. I taped the grill shut. 6 layers. It's still opening. The foam falls out. The plastic cracks. I can hear her breathing. It's not in the duct anymore. It's in the room. I'm writing these words, and she's standing behind me. I can feel her smile. She has no face. But she has a smile. Cold. Wet. Alive. She says. Don't turn around. I won't. But she's lying. She said I would die if I saw her face. But I will die if I don't. Because I can't listen anymore. Because her breathing has become my breathing. Because I no longer know where I end and she begins. In a minute, I'll turn around. I know. But before I do, I want to say. Don't climb into vents. Don't listen to the voices in the ducts. And if one night you hear someone calling your name, don't answer. It's not your name. It took it from someone who answered before you. The end.